Artisan Baldassare of Antiva City.
Good. I was hoping I would catch you. What did the Duke say?
He points the finger at Ambassador Briala.
The ambassador is up to something, but she can't be our focus. The best place to strike at Celine is from her side. Empress Celine is fascinated by mysticism, foreseeing the future, speaking with the dead, that sort of rubbish. She has an occult advisor, an apostate who charmed the Empress and key members of the court as if by magic. I've had dealings with her in the past. She is ruthless and capable of anything.
How can Celine openly keep an apostate in the Imperial Court?
The Imperial Court has always had an official position for a mage. Before now, it was little better than court jester. Vivian was the first to turn that appointment into a source of real political power. When the Circles rebelled, technically every mage became an apostate. The word lost much of its strength.
That sounds exactly like the person we're looking for.
She's worth investigating. Can't be sure of anything here. Both leads point toward the guest wing. It's a promising place to start. I'll coordinate with our spies to see if I can find anything better. I will be in the ballroom if you need me.
This ball is a waste of time, like all Orlesian foolishness. Let's find the Venatori collaborator and get out of here.
Have you witnessed anything noteworthy?
Nothing yet. I will let you know.
You don't seem to care much for the ball.
Orlesians pretend their petty squabbles are a game. Yes, let us treat murder, corruption, and deceit as delightful amusements. How wonderful. We are here to save Empress Celine, and it galls me. Why does she merit our protection? The Empire would be better off without her. Gaspard is the leader Orlais needs in this crisis.
You support the civil war?
Of course not. Chaos is what Corypheus wants, and we must oppose him. Were it up to me, however, I would let Celine fall and Gaspard take the throne. He would see the true threat, not spend his time throwing balls and writing letters.
Stay alert. We don't know where the enemy is hiding.
I'll be watching for trouble. The sooner we leave this place, the better.
There must be something here.
We are not serving drinks. Bother someone else.
Interesting.
The package is in the guest wing. Upper room.
The one of the garden. Statuette.
I do adore the heady blend of power, intrigue, danger, and sex that permeates these events.
You seem more comfortable with a Grand Orlesian ball than I'd have expected.
I have seen countless such displays in my journeys in the Fae. The powerful have always been the same. Only the costumes change.
Have you seen anything useful?
No, sadly. I do not have the look of one of the elven servants, or I might well be invisible. I wonder how masked men live their lives without ever seeing that servants have an entire society of their own. If you want to find something useful, I would pay attention to what the servants do.
Have you encountered any trouble with the nobles?
The Orlesians do not quite know what to make of me. I have kept to myself, for fear of giving them some purchase to cling to. The food and drink are excellent, however, and the servants have been happy to refill my glass.
I'll be back.
And well.
The last two people we sent to the servants' quarters have failed to report.
There's been a lot of activity from the Duke's people over there. I'll send another agent.
I had no idea.
Get these pastries out to the diplomats.
The Duchess has asked for too many. I can't carry them all.
Gaspard is wasting his time. Nothing he does could win.
Interesting. I had no idea.
Well, well, the Inquisitor. Here as a guest of my nephew, no less. How curious.
I didn't know the Grand Duke was your nephew.
He's my brother's eldest boy. Always a difficult child, Gaspard. Never listened, never did what he was told. He was raised a prince. All his life we told him he would be emperor. It was his destiny, his duty. What else should he do with his life, if not fight for his destiny?
What can you tell me about the Civil War?
If you are hoping for insight, you've come to the wrong man. It's war. It is brutal, and terrible, and sometimes necessary. There's nothing more to say.
Have you noticed anything strange this evening?
My niece Florian hasn't spoken to me all evening. That's not like her.
Another time, my lord.
You don't want to be here, stranger.
Philippe should have returned hours ago, dallying with some serving girl while I deal with Gaspard's vitriol.
Awfully selfish of this filly, running off to play and leaving you with all the work.
I've half a mind to inform the Dowager. That would teach him to shirk his duties to roll some elven maid. Tonight of all nights, leaving me to convey Gaspard's death threats to the council. Wonderful timing, Philippe. Thank you for listening to me rant. You are too kind, Inquisitor.
He hasn't made the pickup. It's been hours.
You went into the servants' wing. Nobody's come out of there all night.
I'll tell Briella we have a situation.
Gaspard said to Duke Germain, he's all.
If I have to clean up another...
Germain bore his nephew's spite better than the rest of the council. Did you see that panicked attaché roaming about?
Well, well. What's this? Interesting.
My lady! My lady Inquisitor!
May we have a word? It is very important.
The Empress has sent us with a message for you.
I'm always honored to hear from Her Majesty.
Oh, she is the honored one, Inquisitor.
Empress Celine is eager to assist the Herald of Andraste in her holy endeavor.
She will pledge her full support to the Inquisition as soon as the usurper Gaspard is defeated.
That's a generous offer.
The Empress believes wholeheartedly that the Inquisition is our best hope for peace in these difficult times.
She looks forward to cementing a formal alliance.
As soon as Gaspard is out of the way.
But we have taken enough of your time.
Please, enjoy the masquerade, Inquisitor.
Interesting. Waste of time.
I didn't expect the Inquisitor to be so delightful. Does anyone have a report on the casualties in the deaths?
You must be mistaken.
No, I'm quite certain it was blood on the tiles.
If they're playing the game, they're not doing it very well. You don't leave evidence if you play to win.
With Gaspard and that elf woman here, the only one playing to win is Celine.
You only say that because you fancy the Empress's pet apostate. It sickens me to think of the chaos those Maleficarum are causing across the Empire.
Even you cannot deny that the Templars abandoned the faithful in their darkest hour. How can you condone that? They are the ones who should be brought to heel, if you ask me.
Did you need something?
Did I hear correctly? If you're interested in bringing the Templars to heel, you may have found an ally.
Didn't you recruit them for the rank and file of your Inquisition?
Someone had to remind them, sternly, of their duty.
A sensible solution. I will get in touch with your Lady Nightingale. I have assets that might benefit your cause.
Gentlemen.
Waste of time.
is Lady Pentecost wearing?
That's the bell. I should get back to the ballroom. That would be the second bell. Fashionably late now.
Well, well. What have we here? The leader of the new Inquisition, fabled herald of the faith. Delivered from the grasp of the Fade by the hand of blessed Andraste herself. What could bring such an exalted creature here to the Imperial Court, I wonder? Do even you know?
We may never know. Courtly intrigues and all that.
Such intrigues obscure much, but not all. I am Morrigan. Some call me advisor to Empress Celine on matters of the arcane. You have been very busy this evening, hunting in every dark corner of the palace. Perhaps you and I hunt the same prey.
I don't know. Do we?
You are being coy.
I'm being careful.
Not unwise, here of all places. Allow me to speak first, then. Recently I found and killed an unwelcome guest within these very halls. An agent of Tevinter. So I offer you this, Inquisitor. A key found on the Tevinter's body. Where it leads, I cannot say. Yet if Celine is in danger, I cannot leave her side long enough to search. You can.
You left Celine alone. Is that wise?
I must return to her anon, but she is safe enough, for the moment. 'Twould be a great fool who strikes at her in public in front of all her court and the Imperial Guard.
Why did you kill the agent? He might have had useful information.
I would not have slain the man on sight had he not attacked me first. Why? Undoubtedly I caught him in an illicit act. I did not know from whence he came until after the battle, and regret only that I could not capture him alive. What intentions the Imperium has here, I suspect you know far better than I.
I may find the time to try a door or two.
Proceed with caution, Inquisitor. Enemies abound, and not all of them aligned with Tevinter. What comes next will be most exciting.
I don't think the talks are going well.
The Empress will get us through this. Don't you worry.
Of the Antiv...
Lady Inquisitor.
I'd like your opinion of this gathering, milady.
It's doomed to fail, of course. Celine knows that. At least it should be amusing. We haven't had such a menagerie at court in living memory.
Have you noticed anything odd this evening?
Too few Imperial guards stand in attendance, my dear. A shame. They are so pleasantly decorative.
Would you care to dance, Lady Mantillon?
You, Inquisitor, are a delight. One does not often find foreigners so well versed in the game. But you have other dances to perform first. Perhaps you will save me a dance for later?
Good evening, milady.
Mistress Nightingale.
Look at Lady Cambien's slippers, trimmed with pearls and emeralds, and those buckles. Toss her into the lake and she'll sink right to the bottom. What a disaster.
You're different here than in Skyhold. More approachable, perhaps.
This is Halam Shiral, Inquisitor. This is the Imperial Court. This is the beating heart of the Great Game. Of course, everyone is wearing a mask. I learned this very young. I was still a girl when I attended my first ball. All this, the smiles, the small talk, it is a dance. And like any dance, it can be learned. For some of us, it has become so familiar that the steps may be performed in our sleep.
Who do you think the Inquisition should support?
What we need most of all is a stable Orlais. Either Celine or Gaspard can give us that.
You spoke of Lady Cambien's shoes earlier. Shouldn't you be focused on other things?
Everyone needs a hobby. Besides, you can learn a great deal about a person from their clothing. Gold and jewels on a dancing slipper. A slipper is easily lost and finds itself in the dust and dirt. She is unconcerned with the possibility of losing the shoe or soiling it. A vulgar display of wealth. But Lady Cambien's family has recently lost most of its holdings. They have their title, but little else. So, how did Cambien acquire such a grand shoe, What has she done? Who has she bedded? These are all useful questions, no?
I should go. Be on your guard.
I always am.
Inquisitor, is there something you needed?
I don't suppose you'd save a dance for me?
No, thank you.
Oh.
No, I didn't mean to make us breath. I've answered that question so many times, I'm rejecting it automatically. I'm not one for dancing. The Templars never attended balls.
We'll talk later.
I await your signal.
Why would the Empress invite that elf woman?
The game, of course. Celine has something up her sleeve.
Inquisitor Trevelyan. Slumming even more than usual, I see. You've charmed some of the nobles. We'll see how long you can keep their favor. What brings you to me?
I want to know more about the peace talks. What can you tell me about Celine and Gaspard?
Gaspard is a warmonger. He served in the war against Ferelden and fought a dozen skirmishes on the Navarran border. He's a simple man. Simple men aren't hard to manipulate. Celine is the voice of reason in the Empire. But reason is cautious. Reason looks for compromise. Reason doesn't choose radical change, however sorely it may be needed.
I had a question about you, Riala.
I'm an elf, Inquisitor. That should tell you everything you need to know about my life. I'm good at what I do. And so that matters. I will help my people no matter the cost.
I've been told you were romantically involved with the Empress.
I didn't take you for a gossip monger, Inquisitor. I suppose your spies have already briefed you, so there's no point in pretending. Yes. Celine and I were lovers once, but we've gone our separate ways now.
What's your story? How is an elf invited to the Empress's ball as an ambassador?
Empress Celine and I have... history. There was a time when I put my spies at her disposal. She knows my qualifications. We had a falling out. Now we are negotiating to determine whether I return to her side in the war.
I'm surprised you'd admit that, considering the circumstances.
I know it's incriminating. Few harbor more resentment against Celine than I. But if she died after inviting me here, the court would certainly pin her death on me. An elf assassinating the Empress? Alienages across Orlais, across all Thedas, would be purged. That cannot happen.
You might be interested in what I found. It's about you, actually. You murdered negotiators and stole their documents.
In Orlesian politics, Inquisitor, murder and intrigue barely count as trying. If that shocked you, wait until Celine shows her hand.
I found the drop point, Briala. I know your people are hidden all over the palace.
Of course they are. I'd be a poor spy master if I didn't have spies, Inquisitor.
We'll speak more later, Ambassador.
Another time, Inquisitor. Inquisitor, to what do we owe this honor?
We are always delighted to speak with you, of course.
Her Imperial Majesty is unfortunately occupied at present.
My investigations turned up something interesting. It concerns the Grand Duke. He's made a lot of threats to the Council of Heralds.
The Grand Duke is all talk, Inquisitor.
Very loud talk, accompanied by swords.
He has never had any skill at the game.
Perhaps you could tell me something then. We haven't been properly introduced.
How rude of us to forget.
Milady Inquisitor, may I present Lady Couteau?
And Lady Colombe.
And of course, Lady Fleur. We are the Empress's ladies-in-waiting.
I'd like to know more about Empress Celine.
Her Majesty has held the throne since she was just 16 years old.
She is respected and beloved, not just in Orlais, but across Thedas.
She doesn't care much for liver, and she drinks her tea black.
Good evening.
Until next time.
Do take care.
Enjoy the masquerade!
My friend, come in, have a drink. What can I do for you? You've been busily charming the court, I see.
I'd like to know more about you.
All of Orlais knows my story. But you, my friend, are far too sensible to be Orlesian. The heart of it is simple. I am the rightful heir to the throne of Orlais. But my cousin, Celine, is a politician, while I am a man of action. She charmed the Council of Heralds. They gave the crown to her, and while it looks fetching on her, I intend to take it back.
So you intend to out-negotiate your cousin?
It will take heroic effort on my part, Inquisitor, and a lot of brandy. The talks will take most of the evening, Make her willing, we will emerge triumphant.
I have a question about the peace talks. What are you hoping to achieve at the negotiations?
I intend to take back what is rightfully mine. Celine stole the crown through politicking, but I am the rightful emperor of Orlais. The Empire has been mired in intrigue for too long. We need a clear course of action.
What action did you have in mind?
The Empire is declining. We cannot allow Nevarra and Ferelden to chip away our borders. I will see Orlais return to glory as the strongest nation in Thedas.
You say you hate politics, but you're here to negotiate.
I can play the game when I must. If I couldn't, I'd be dead by now, Inquisitor. But it is not my choice. Celine has my sister involved in this mess. I would prefer to settle this on the battlefield. But for Florian, I will sit and talk.
What will be going on in these negotiations?
We will whittle one another down with words until we are bored into agreement. Celine will talk circles around us, that elf will glower and cast suspicion everywhere, and I will get very drunk. Somehow, by the time they stop serving drinks, our war will be ended. Politics, my friend.
I get the distinct impression that you don't enjoy politics, Duke Gaspard.
In Orlais, they call it the Great Game. They believe it is something you can play and win. But there are no winners. Like dogs playing wicked grace, it is a mockery of action. Give me a battlefield, Inquisitor. I will show you who the victors are. When I am Emperor, there will be changes. No more of this courtier's nonsense. The nobles may not like it, but after a few lose their heads, they'll fall in line.
What can you tell me about Celine and Briala?
Brianna may be called ambassador, but she is purely a spy. She works towards some hidden agenda. Elves have no place in politics. Her presence here is suspicious. Celine is a skilled player in the game. She knows how to get her way with a few words and a smile. But the game is a farce. I will prove that a few hundred chevaliers are better than diplomacy.
You didn't extend this invitation out of the goodness of your heart, Grand Duke.
As you might have guessed, I'm not the most political man. If the nobles believe the Inquisition supports me, it will help in negotiations. And I take joy in watching the scandalized expressions when they see us together.
We'll speak later, Duke Gaspard.
Another time, friend.
Duke Gaspard has made a fortune at
I have an idea. Hello?
She speaks for the Maker, and he knows all. Of course she knows the game.
Which power should the Inquisition throw its weight behind?
Celine has held the throne successfully for years. I see no profit in ousting her. Gaspard has run military campaigns, but never a kingdom. His transition would be, let us say, chaotic.
Tell me about yourself, Lady Yvette. This is the first time I've encountered any of Josephine's family.
She would forget to mention the artists. I've been studying painting under Antiva's royal tutors. You should be proud, Josie. I'm going to be exhibiting my work next season in the city's biggest salon.
Have you actually sat down and finished the painting yet?
I must wait for my inspiration.
And I must wait for your tutor's bills.
Enjoying the ball?
I see many of. The dancing is so dull, Your Worship, but the Empress's gallery is magnificent.
Yvette.
Sorry, Josie.
Go on, Josephine.
Half Royal must be empty. So many of the Empire's finest are in attendance. They've noticed the Empress paying you special attention, but they don't quite know how to take advantage of it yet. This uncertainty won't last long, I'm afraid.
I'll see you later.
Another time.
What is Lady Pentecost wearing?